thought I'd do is talk about 5 of the areas that we've had trouble in terms of the growth. So 5 of the most common areas that we've struggled with over time. And I've sort of listed them. So the first area is the model itself. So we have this great model. It sounds wonderful on paper. It's very easy for me to put up a simple slide and show you. And it's taken lots of years to kind of work that out. In edge cases, and stay focused on it. Made some mistakes. Software companies fundamentally scale really, really well. Right? In theory, once I build a bit of software, I can sell it millions of times at zero cost. We don't even ship out CDs anymore. We don't even send anything around the world, but a few bits. So the scale inherent in that is huge, right? We've automated, big on automation as you expect, everything, right? Orders come in, they just roll in, cash in the bank. Our CFO loves it. It's the best business he's ever seen because he doesn't have to do anything. He never has to worry about cash flow. He never has to worry about payroll. He never has to worry about anything. It's just cash rolling every day in small amounts, just consistency, right? No lumpiness, no worry about those sorts of things. What's important is to know really, really well, I think, what doesn't scale. Too many startups focus on, I've got a really scalable model, right? Some of my angel investments, they go, oh, my model rocks with this. And my question is always, right, can you tell me what part does not scale? And you work really, really hard on that. Because if you do start to scale, that's where you'll feel pain, right? Not the scalability of the model, right? Simple is not equal to simple, right? What was I trying to say? Basically that we have a very simple, focused model. I've tried to explain it. We're very, very focused on keeping things simple, keeping things straight and easy to understand, both internally and externally. But that doesn't mean it's overly simplified. Right? We've experimented with stuff, we've tried stuff in a whole bunch of different ways. So one thing to be aware of is scaling too fast. So we went a long time before we went to the US, and when we went, we had some tenants that we were actually testing. We were very, very careful and cautious about how we went there. Build the right product and not the first. So I haven't really had time to go into the products that we build in much detail. The question is, do we build them? The answer is definitely no. Not one of our products does something that nobody else already does. We're not trying to be innovative. And what's interesting is if you look at the successful tech companies, if you can't, as a startup, tell me instantly what the 3 most important numbers in your business are, you don't know enough about your business. Quite simple. No other way to put it. The thing that I've learned about metrics is getting them to use them as a tool to get action is much harder than understanding them. So I can understand all our metrics and I know, to move that up, we can do these things and these things and these things. This is what the problem is, why it's important. We've had a lot harder time communicating to other people what those important metrics are, why they're important, what they do. Have 3 numbers as your startup. Have 3 numbers that you think are the most important numbers. And they're not necessarily sales. That's almost always for startup a terrible number. Right? It's some sort of ratio that will look at that ratio. Marketing, someone mentioned marketing before. Word of mouth scales really well. Right? Word of mouth is really how we do most of our marketing. However, it's really hard to get cranky. It's a big flywheel. Many people talking about your business, right? You've got to start it moving. The best way to get that cranking is to make it big product. It's almost a truism. The best way to get people talking about stuff is to make it remarkable. Able to make it remarkable. They actually come and go, hey Jim, have you seen this? And go home and tell you what, tell you friends. What is hard to scale in marketing is trust. So people's propensity to buy is based on safety. Right? Lots of academic analysis on this. If you feel safe about a product, you walk into a store, it looks nice, you're more likely to buy it. You walk into a shady looking store, lights are low, there's kind of those people around, you want to get out of these little problems. It doesn't matter what you like. Trust is really hard to scale, right? We have since thought about and realised what we did in the past, but we sort of understood this somewhere inside without really thinking about it explicitly to start with. So what we did early is work out, well, hang on a second, if we're an Australian company, someone in the US is going to buy off us, how are we going to convince them that we're a valid kind of an option, right? So what we did is we put up things like customer lists, testimonials, pretty heavy on basically saying, it's a safe thing to buy, right? Look what Joe said, look what Bill said. You know, banks and people like that travel in packs, right? Trying to get your first bank customers because they want to know all the other banks that use it, right? As soon as you've got 5, you don't care. The guy at, Morgan Stanley goes, oh, JP uses it? Fine, we'll buy it. People scaling hiring is really, really hard. So I brought up people. Probably the most difficult thing that every single entrepreneur will list. our customers buy because our software's innovative. And every single thing they ask for makes it more and more and more normal. What your job is, as a product manager or an entrepreneur or a startup employee, is to work out which of the normal things you really need to do and which of them you don't need to do. And then to come up with all the innovative things yourself, divine from kind of their requests. It's a bit of a weird process, right? They're asking for all this stuff, and you've got to look at them all and kind of go, what they really want is this. So, apologies, people don't like rude things. So, we're Australian companies, so these are our values. What are we trying to do? We're trying to create useful products that people like stuff. Right? Words that we've smithed over and over and over again. And then we came up with these 5 values. And there was a lot of questioning about whether we should put, don't fuck the customer as a value. It's on the website. Right? Open company, no bullshit.